UK driving test, Nuneaton, 1st of April 2025. And as you can see, this is going to be a pass. So it's Georgia and she's going to pass her driving test. So congratulations, George. And you can see at the very start here, we're on Vernon's Lane. And obviously we're just making our way towards Beaumont Road. The sat nav.
After 100 yards, bear right, then turn left.
The sat nav lady will kick in from time to time. I've tried to leave it so you can just hear the sat nav, just because George and the examiner were just chatting the whole way round.
Bear right, then turn left.
So you may hear a couple of mumbles in the background, but hopefully I'll have cut their conversation out because I'm not allowed to publish that. Anyway, here we are, we're on Beaumont Road, and as we know,
from the 200 yards, turn left.
From the Nuneaton Test Centre, if you face the car this way, which they actually ask you to do, then you know the first 3 roads that you're going to be driving on. So it goes Vernon's Lane, Beaumont Road, which we're on now, and then it turns left into Countess Road, and that's going to be our next. That's going to be our next junction. So left into Countess Road, and this is normally quite clear, so we can make a bit of progress along here. I like people to get a bit of speed up. George hasn't really picked it up yet, but there you go. There you go, we're picking it a bit of speed up now. And at the end of the road, we're going to be turning right.
Turn right, so, then at the end of the road, turn left.
So because it's the end of the road, she'll drop it into first gear, she'll creep up, look, and creep out. And that's exactly what she's done there, and that's absolutely fine. So she's got off to a very, very good start here. Very, very good start. And at the end of this road then, we're going to be at the end of Earls Road here, we're going to be turning left. You can see there's one in front of us. He's just waiting. So they've crept up, haven't they, in the Kia, looked and moved out. And here we are. We're going to creep up. We're going to look. And we're going to move out as well. So the formula is always the same at the end of the road, and this way you won't get caught for observations at junctions, which is the most common reason for failing. We're going past the speed camera. Obviously we're not up to the 30 yet, which is good news because no one wants any tickets. Now along here, they're going to be asked to pull in and park on the left. And this will be a hill start then. There you go. So this is a hill start. This is either Manor Court Road or Manor Park Road. I can't remember which one. They're both next to each other. So I think it's Manor Court Road this. And in a few seconds, we're just going to pull away. All she's doing then is she's just waiting for a reasonable space. And out she goes. And you can see she's managed to get a bit of pace up. She's keeping up with the speed of the traffic there straight away. So that's very, very, very good. So she's made a confident start. And she's a confident driver, actually. There's no real issues with that. She's not nervous or anxious at all.
At the end of the road, turn left.
Which is very good because, I always find that confident people, the more laid back people, gives them a better chance of passing. I know that's easy to say. You can't make yourself be that, but that's just how she is, and that's brilliant.
Turn left.
So we're going to be turning left at these lights then. And again, it's gone quiet in the background. They're just chatting about various different things. I think sometimes the examiners like the students, the candidates, to chat to themselves or to chat to the examiner, just because it breaks a bit of the kind of dryness of the atmosphere in the car. So that's absolutely fine, isn't it? As long as she can concentrate. We're on Midland Road now, and we're kind of heading away from the town, just to give you a bit of context on that. And as you know, Midland Road is a 30-mile-an-hour road all the way along it, really. And it does change its name along here at some point, and I can never remember exactly where. It's not really important for us. As long as we're in the correct position on the road, doing the correct speed for the road and in the correct gear, then that's all we really need to be control-wise. And then on top of that, if you're looking ahead and planning ahead all the time, then that's the next thing. We're going through these lights, they're staying on green. Now I want you to look at the next set of traffic lights that we're going to come up to. And George is going to go through these on amber. And you would think that that's a mistake. And actually from the video, it looks like she had time to stop. So let's just see here. We're just coming up to the next set of traffic lights. They're on green at the moment. And they're going to change around about now to amber. There they go. Now, did she have time to stop? And would it have been the correct thing to do? Well, the answer is she probably did have time to stop there, although it would have been quite a sharp braking to make that happen. But there was another vehicle quite close behind. So if she had have stopped really quickly there, maybe that would have been unsafe. And I think that's how the examiner has seen that. So because there was something very, very close behind her, it would have been unsafe to stop there. And amber means stop if it's safe, doesn't it? That's what amber means. So if it is safe, you must stop. But if it's not safe for any reason, then you must go through. And that's exactly what happened there. Obviously, we know that it's not been marked down as a serious fault because she has passed. So that explains that one. And again, we're going to pull in on the left, and along here, you end up pulling into the lay-by, don't you, along this bit here. And this is just one of those random things where they ask you to pull in and park, and then they'll say, okay, thank you, drive on when you're ready. And that's what we're going to do. Also, the sat-nav is going to say something a bit strange now, because there's a junction ahead where it wants you to turn right, but it won't say turn right. It will say, what is the phrase it uses? Oh, I can never remember this. Let's see. Anyway, let's hear. Unless I put it out. That's it. It basically...
After 200 yards, bear right.
Bear right. It says bear right. And it's not. So it normally says that for bends in the road, doesn't it? Bear right. But in this time, it's absolutely a junction. And it would have been better if the sat-nav had said turn right. And that would have been clearer. But, you know, George has worked it out. We've been through this junction a few times, so she knows what to do. And away we go. So that's very good. So the sat-nav, a little bit misleading there, really. And the examiner actually said what it means is turn right. So he kind of let her know. Which is a good thing, really, because that would have been a bad thing to fail for if you just misheard what the sat-nav had said. So here we are. This is Mancetter Road, and we're driving along here. This first section is a 30-mile-an-hour section, isn't it? And it's 30 miles an hour for quite some way before it goes quicker again. It's about where these houses on the right there, it's about where they come to an end and the kind of countryside begins. That's normally where the speed limit changes. And it's changed to 50 there. Okay. Now I say that's normally where the speed limit changes. Of course, now with all the house building and things, you know, the kind of houses, the town part has grown into the countryside in quite a few places. So it's not always the best way to look at it. Do look out for the road signs, and they're always the best one to follow. But it's a 50 road, and it's looking quite scenic here, isn't it? I think we've got quarries on either side of us at this moment. Not quite sure. And so we do look as though we're in the sky a little bit. But we're just now coming down the hill. This is just a very, very long hill as we come down Mancetter Road from Nuneaton towards Mancetter and Atherstone. Now, when we get to the end of this road, it's kind of, again, it's a little bit misleading. The sat-nav is going to say turn left and then bear right. And the bear right is kind of a long way along the road. But the left turn looks for all the world, and you'll see it looks like it on this screen here. It looks like it's the end of the road, but it's not. It's not the end of the road. It's just a kind of normal left turn, like taking the next left. And the way you can tell that is because the road markings kind of take the road around. It doesn't end the road. So there's no kind of give way lines at the end there. So that means we're on the main road and we're just going to turn into a side road. And in fact, if you look, when we turn into the side road, they have give way lines
After
there.
400 yards, turn left, then bear right.
Okay, so the first thing is the turn left, and we're coming up to the junction now. It said 400 yards, didn't it? And if you look ahead, you can see it's getting ever closer. And again, if you didn't know this road, you might think that this was the end of the road. But if you just have a little look at the road markings, you can see that we're on the main road and we're turning into a side road there. So it's kind of like, where is the give way? Which road do you give way on? And so I would advise anyone that's learning in Nuneaton just to have a look at that and just to make sure you've got it straight in your mind about where the give way lines are and who has a priority. Obviously, again, we've been through there a few times and she absolutely knew what to do. So that's brilliant, isn't it? Again, like I say, it's a pass. It's an easy pass, actually. She's done very, very, very well. She's coming up to these red lights here. On top of this light here, you'll see there's a sensor and it usually goes to green for you. But on this occasion, obviously, there was traffic on the other side as well. So it kind of evened that out. There we go, we've had to stop. It's quite the gradient there, and there's no rollback, so very, very good. And we've gone over and down the other side. Look at this glorious weather, by the way, for the 1st of April. We've been having brilliant weather, haven't we? We've been spoiled, really.
Bear left.
So it's now saying to bear left, and it just means to bend. So there you go from my point earlier, where it said bear right, and there was a junction, and now it says bear left, and it's just a bend. So you have to be careful with the sat-nav and what it says and how to kind of read it, really. We are on a national speed limit part. It's just changed to 30. And again, this is a very, very long road. They're talking about holidays now, which, is great, isn't it? But, I'm sure she wanted to concentrate a bit more. Just around this bend, there's a hazard. And it's kind of a parked van and there's cones and things. And you don't see it till quite late, but we managed to get around, no problem. Luckily, the oncoming vehicles were a little way back. So that kind of helped us out a little bit there, didn't it, to get through that. But along here, it's just a very, very long road. And again, this is another one that changes its name as you go along it. And I can't remember all of them and where they all change. So again, it doesn't really matter. We know which road it is, and we're just going to follow this road, and we're going to go all the way to the end. There's lots of cars parked on either side. There's lots of places where that makes the road really narrow, like now. And there's lots of times when it's kind of like a less space, less speed thing that applies here. Also, lots of times where it's quite wide and you can get make some progress. So, just hold back a little bit for that car to come through. That's very, very nicely done. And again, it's a bit of a straight road. We can now see there's going to be speed bumps, and you'll see that she'll slow right down for those. Just looking after my little car, little stubby, as it drives around. There you go, less space, less speed. Very, very good. Another speed bump here as well. Over we go. And that's actually very nicely done. And as we come along here, we're going to come to a mini roundabout. You don't always spot that, but she has done today. And around we go. So she's absolutely pulling all the stops out, isn't she? She's trying to make sure that she gets everything right, and that means that she'll pass, and that is what happened. So brilliant. Just as we go through these lights, we can see that we're coming up to a place where the road becomes what they call school lane, or is it school hill? Something like that anyway, but we're going to go down it quite sharply. Now usually as you come around this next bend, it's like a crossroads, and you start to go down this school hill. Now you have to look right to the very end of the road, because down at the very end it's a very busy road, and there are things that are oncoming. Today we've been quite lucky. At this point in the road, there's not enough room for 2 cars to pass. But again, no cars came, so that's excellent, isn't it? So you shouldn't have to do too much there. And at the end, we're going to turn left.
Turn left, then take the third right.
Okay, so we're turning left here from School Hill, and we're going to be turning left and then third right. Now the thing about this is the third right is right at the top of the hill there. It's all the way at the top of the hill, and there's 2 right turns here. And I think
After 300 yards, turn right.
We're just passing one now, and I think they're both called Chancery Lane or something like that. And yeah, so they're difficult to spot. And if you miss them, then obviously you'll miscount, won't you? So we've passed one, and you see there's a little gap in the houses there, and that's the second one there. It goes like a loop around. So, and then the third one, the third right, is up here, up at the top of the hill, and we're going to turn right into Bucks Hill. So we're just coming up. She's just starting to time her approach. She's got a good position on the road. She's looking for a space on the opposite side that she can exploit. And there you go, she's gone around. So very, very, very nicely done. And now this Bucks Hill is a sharp downhill, isn't it? So it's quite a busy area, kind of hilly area of Nuneaton, really. And it's a sharp downhill, and we've got parked cars on both sides. So again, there's going to be less space, less speed parts of it. That's one of them, isn't it? And there's another one coming up, really. The one in front has just let the guy come through, and now George is going to slow down a little bit. What she did there is she slowed down to make progress. And that's an absolute skill you must learn if you want to pass your driving test. So you've got to look ahead, and you've got to judge your speed on approach. And very often, if you slow down a little bit, not all the time, but very often, if you slow down a little bit,
after 200 yards, cross the roundabout, second exit.
You let the other guy through, and then that leaves you a space. So that's how you slow down to make progress. And here, we're going to go straight ahead. There's 2 roundabouts here, actually, and we're going to go straight ahead at both of those. So this is at the bottom of Bucks Hill. On your left is Queen Elizabeth Road, I think it's called. And then we're going to just carry on at the second one here as well. And that's it. And now what they'll do is they'll pull in and park on the left, and that will be the end of the independent driving. So that's lasted a while, hasn't it? That's lasted about 18 minutes, that independent driving has. So that's a good chunk of the test gone. Big chunk of it gone. And now what it's saying to it is, thank you very much. That's the end of the independent driving. I'll direct you as normal from this point going forward, and pull away when you are ready. This is quite a busy road, isn't it, as we can see. So she's just waiting for a space, and when one arrives, she'll move into it. And she'll be any second now. At this moment, she's checking her blind spot. She's putting her indicator on, and she's going to be moving off in a second or 2. There you go. And again, that's a nice pull away. And she had to wait there for a few seconds, didn't she, for the road to clear? And that's exactly why they pull you in, to see if you will do that. Sometimes you'll put an indicator on and then someone will let you out. But sometimes you'll just see a space arriving, and you just say, right, well, I'm going to wait for that space, and then I'll move into it. The examiner is saying now to follow the road ahead at the next 2 roundabouts. And he's going to point out that there's a roundabout coming up because it's just around this bend. And to be fair to the candidate, to the learner, it's not obvious that these roundabouts are here. So here's the first one. We're going to follow the road ahead at the next 2 roundabouts. And this is the first one here. It's got a speed bump on it. And we're going to go over and down. And the next one is just outside the co-op. if you know this road at all. It's just outside the co-op. And again, it kind of arrives all of a sudden, this roundabout does. So we need to be braking now, which you can see she's doing. She's having a good look into the road on the right there, and you see it's all clear, and away we go. And that's brilliant. So again, really, she kind of crept up, looked, and crept over. So it's always the same. It's like a cheat code for approaching junctions, really. So the quicker you can adopt that, really that cheat code, and the better you can be at it, the more practice you have at it, the more likely you are to pass. Like I say, the most common reason for people failing the driving test, always, every year, year on year on year, is observations at junctions. The video skipped a bit there, didn't it? That's because I'm just using SatNav. Not SatNav, Dashcam. Just using the Dashcam. That's it. But we're turning right. I like to call this little section the Lammen Flag intersection. It isn't called that, but they do use it a lot where they've turned right there. On your left is the Lammen Flag pub. We're going to visit that again in a few moments. But it's an awkward right turn, isn't it, there? Just as you get to the top of that hill, you turn right onto this Kingswood Road, which is where the Lammen Flag is. I've never been in that pub. I've no idea what it's like. It's just there's an awkward bit of road outside of it. Past Aldi, and along we go. They have been known in the past to pull into the Aldi car park and do some bay parking, although I've not seen the examiners do that for a while. I don't know if they've had some kind of memo. Maybe it's just because I've just not noticed them doing that. And now we're going to go through here. Obviously, we have the giveaway signs, but there's nobody arriving, so that's fine. And again, more speed bumps. That's the thing about Nuneaton. Like I always say to everyone, Nuneaton's just a town of speed bumps and mini roundabouts, really. I don't know if it's famous for something else, but there's certainly a lot of speed bumps and there's loads of mini roundabouts. We're going to be taking the next left here. And the next left takes us around there and into Wenlock Way. It should come up. There it is, Wenlock Way. Quite a steep hill, this Wenlock Way. So I say to people, just leave it in second and just, put the power on and let the car get to the top. If you feel loads of power going in, then you can pop it into third. But until you do that, just keep it in second and allow the car to get to the top there. When we get to the end, we're going to be turning left at the end there. There you go. So again, you watch, you'll creep up, look, and creep out. Obviously, from these videos, you can't see her looking, but you can assume that she has looked because she has passed. And if you don't look, you won't pass. And we're going to pull in and park on the left here. So we've done a hill start, haven't we? We've done a random pull in and pull away a couple of times. We've come to the end of the kind of independent driving. And now we're going to do an angled start here on this Wycliffe Road. So what he's saying to her now is, when you're ready, drive on, please. And that's what she'll do. And this is going to be an angled start. Always remember to indicate, look into your blind spot before you move and stay well away from the parked car. And then once you're out, get your speed up, really, get up to the speed of the road. Obviously, there's cars parked on both sides there, so that affects us, doesn't it? But this is Wycliffe Road, and at the end of Wycliffe Road, there is a school. And at school run times, this is horrendous. This part of this road, you just will not get through. There's so many cars parked along here, double parked on both sides. Some people park on the yellow zigzag lines, which really infuriates me. But there it is, and you just can't get through. It's impossible. It'll take you a good 10 minutes. But obviously, it's not school run time at the moment. We've gone through, and at the end, we're going to turn left. So we're on Wycliffe Road, coming to the end of the road here. We're going to turn left onto Church Road. Brilliant. That's it. Now, what do we know about Church Road? Well, we know it's full of mini roundabouts and speed bumps. and they're all together now. So these have really taken the Nuneaton thing to heart, haven't they, along this road? They've got speed bumps and mini roundabouts all on top of each other. The next one that we're going to come to, the next speed bump and the next mini roundabout, is absolutely horrendous. It is falling to bits. It is just outside. If you look on your left, there's going to be a shop. I can't remember what this shop is, but here it is. It is the mini roundabout. I'm going to go up this speed bump. It's a long one, and it really needs repairing. Can you see the car rocking from side to side? Yeah, that speed bump is it's falling to pieces, really. Next, then, we're going to go straight ahead at this roundabout here, and then we're going to turn right. And on your right hand side there again is the Lamb Flag pub. So again, for me, this is the Lamb Flag intersection, which they use a lot. Again, if you are learning how to drive in Nuneaton, please learn this little intersection, because they come at it from all angles, because it's just a bit more complex than your normal junction. You have to go ahead first at the first bit, wait in the middle, then go ahead again. And we've turned right back into Kingswood Road here now. This time we're going in the opposite direction. Again, the dash cam jumped a little bit there, but we're still on Kingswood Road. We're in the 20-mile-an-hour zone along here. And this road turns into Tomkinson Road at the other end, doesn't it? And it's 20 miles an hour all the way along. And in fact, for the rest of this test, for all the way home, it's going to be 20 miles an hour. And on some of the roads, you won't see any signs. But because it hasn't changed, because we're on a 20 zone now, and when we turn off of this road, it doesn't change. You don't see any other speed limits. It means that is still 20. So we're coming out. This is another horrible speed bump here. I hate speed bumps. But we're going to be turning right into this car park here. I think it used to be called the Cherry Tree Pub car park here. And she's just slowing down a little bit, deciding what the white car's doing. As we come into this car park, it's going to ask her to reverse into a parking bay. So we've done the hill start, we've done an angled start, we've stopped randomly on busy roads, and now we're going to do the reversing manoeuvre, which is reversing into a parking bay. And you can see she's made a 45-degree angle before she started to reverse in. Absolutely very clever, because that makes the reversing much, much easier. And I often see people learning how to do this, and they all do it at right angles. And I always think to myself, well, why are you doing that? Why don't you just make a better angle on the forward part to make the reversing part simpler? There you go. That's just me. It's something I try to teach my, students, and it's kind of, I've never been marked down for it or anything like that. So it is I think it's a wise thing to do anyway. And, when you've passed, that's exactly what you'll do. You'll just make a better angle before you start to reverse in, won't you? So why wouldn't you do that on your test? I don't know. Anyway, we've made a perfect reverse bay park there. And now it's just saying to her, okay, thank you very much. Drive ahead or drive out of the car park towards the exit. I'm going to turn right back onto the main road. And here we go. We're moving forward here. Coming down to the end, and then we're going to turn right onto the main road here. And this is quite a busy road, isn't it? This Kingswood / Tomkinson Road here. And it's going to be, we're going to have to wait a little bit here, aren't we, before we can move out. We've got to cross both lanes. And so we're just having to just hold fire a little bit, just until there's a space on both sides. Should be that in a few seconds. And the thing here is not to be itching to get away. Don't do that. Just wait for a good space, a space that allows you out on both sides, a space that you feel comfortable to move into. Because if you rush yourself, you are more likely to stall And if you stall, you're more likely to panic. And if you panic, you're more likely to fail, aren't you? So just wait for a space that you're happy with and that you feel comfortable to move out into, and then go for that one. And we'll see that she'll move ahead quite soon. There she goes. There she goes. Good. And this is now, we're going to follow this road down. It's still a 20-mile-an-hour road. They've put a new speed bump here along this bit. And we're just going to see, we're going to come up to it now. It's in a darker colour. So this one is an original speed bump that was there. And then we're going to go over the kind of darker coloured one. It's a much bigger one. Don't know why they've put this extra one in. But, you know, that's, again, cleverer people at the council have decided that. That's this one. And you see already scars on it. We're going to take the second road on the left now. So the first one is Blackertree Road. We're not going into that. The second one is Vernon's Lane. And we're going to turn left into Vernon's Lane now. So as you know, Vernon's Lane is where the driving test centre is. And if you look around here, that's it, got it. So it's a bend round to the right. And we're going up and over the hill. There's a kind of weird green bit in the middle of the road here, isn't there? That looks kind of like a roundabout. We're just going to go around that. It's like a traffic calming measure, I think, to keep people slow, even though it's already a 20 zone and there's lots of speed bumps on it. Determined, aren't they? Anyway, here we go. We're coming towards the end of it now, aren't we? We're coming towards the end of the test. We're coming back towards the test centre. There's only one thing in the way, really, and that's the roundabout that cuts this Vernon's Lane in half. And we're coming up to it quite soon, coming up to it now. And this is going to be straight ahead at the roundabout. Please make sure that you slow down, look to your right, look to your right, slow down, look to your right. You'll hear in my voice. There you go. That's why you'll hear in my voice that I've said that so many times, not just to Georgia, but to general people. And we're going to pull in and park on the left here now. We're coming to a nice stop, and the examiner is going to utter these immortal words. Thank you very much. I'm pleased to say you have passed. So brilliant. Congratulations, matey. Well done. You've passed your driving test. What an absolute star. We only saw a couple of minors. I think maybe the amber light was a minor. I can't think of any others, but brilliant. Well done. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.